Good morning. So quiet out here this morning. I can hear birds. Oh, and a car coming. Pfft. So much for the quiet, right? There we go. Oh well. But once the car disappears, it's still going to be quiet. And I like that. And I even forgot my earbuds today, so it makes it extra special quiet. So this is the Tuesday after a Memorial Day weekend, and what a great weekend I had. My son and his wife and little daughter came to visit, and spent not the whole weekend, but spent the night with us, and it was all about family, which is really great. And so little history of myself. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, actually outside of Portland, Oregon, and all my family lives in the Seattle-Tacoma metropolitan area. Growing up, Portland, Oregon, it's wet and rainy and dreary and kind of gray for the majority of the year. Summers are beautiful, but the rest of the time it's just cold, rainy. At least that was my perception as a kid and a teenager growing up. And I used to dream about getting in a car and driving as far south on Interstate 5 as I could possibly go, all the way to the Mexican border. And one day I decided to do exactly that. I gathered up my girlfriend at the time and her kids, and I was a very young adult. We decided we were going to move to San Diego. And so we did. And that's how I came to California in the very early 1980s. So that removed me from the majority of my family. I really, we have a small family anyway, but I really didn't have anybody around in Southern California. So fast forward a few years, that girlfriend who later did become my wife, we split and moved on, and my daughter ended up, of course, staying with her and moving back to the Pacific Northwest, and to this day she still currently lives north of Seattle. And what a great, she's wonderful. I love my kids. She has done so well for herself. I truly believe that the measure of a person is how well their kids turn out, and that makes me I've done good, I think. My kids are fantastic. So anyway, my son, he grew up here in Southern California in Los Angeles, and once he became a man, his job took him to Orange County, which is about 75 miles south of us, through some pretty gnarly traffic. And he and his girlfriend at the time, they moved out and moved to Orange County. Well, that's about, on a good day with very little traffic, that's an hour-and-a-half drive. And they have a little kid now, my beautiful granddaughter. And yesterday they decided that they're going to start looking for a place to live up here around us. They feel that being close to family trumps everything else. Oh, sorry, I said that word. Overrides everything else. So they are going to work to try to move back up here. And her family is extremely happy, as are us. As we are as well. Oh shit, car coming, I'm gonna get run over. So that made for a fantastic weekend. To have at least one of my kids closer to me, oh, that's just fantastic. In a dream, I would also have my daughter and her family closer to me as well, but that's okay. She's doing very well for herself. She has a wonderful family, and I couldn't be more proud of her. There's my favorite neighborhood avocado tree. I actually picked an avocado off the ground and started a seedling off of this tree. I figured if it would grow here really well, it should grow in my yard as well. Same neighborhood, same climate, I hope. So we'll see. My poor avocado tree, a grafted one that I bought, put in the ground, had a ton of flowers on it and a whole bunch of little teeny tiny avocados, and the tree dropped them all. I guess, you know, Mother Nature knows that tree was not ready to hold fruit. So she dropped them all. But, you know, maybe next year it'll hold on to one or two. It was too young anyway, really. I would have taken off a whole bunch of them. Oh, a little out of breath this morning. Didn't walk yesterday. I don't think I walked. Did I walk the day before? Oh, I did not. So it's been 2 days since I've walked. Ooh. I love how this neighbor has set up this little front yard. They have citrus trees in pots, and then they put little succulents at the base of them. I love it. Normally there's a car parked here, so I can't film it, but today there's not. Isn't this great? And these are all, this appears to be a kumquat, a variegated kumquat. And this is another type of citrus. And this is a, oh gosh, what do they call this? Is it Buddha hands? Yeah, I think it's called a Buddha hand citrus. This is a fingerling lime. So these limes, when you cut them open, they look like little balls of lime caviar. They are a great citrus. And if you live anywhere where citrus grows, it's a fantastic citrus to grow. Unfortunately, my fingerling lime tree is about the only tree that I've completely lost. I have another one that is on its way out, but the fingerling lime, I think it got a disease, and it has no leaves on it whatsoever, and has not since late last year. And you know, I've watched the slow decline of it. It still has a green trunk, so I'm encouraged, but I think it is a goner. And there's some pretty gnarly citrus diseases here in the southern United States. I'm sure it got hit by one of them. Luckily, my other citrus trees did not. Oh, speaking of which, there were still oranges on my orange tree, and I had kind of ignored them. So when my son came to visit yesterday, he took his little daughter, my little granddaughter, out, and they picked an orange, and he cut it open with his pocket knife. Wow, that was so good. It was so unbelievably sweet. I think because it sat on the tree for so long, and we've had some nice warm weather, a couple days of nice warm weather. So it was so sweet. They took home an entire sack of oranges, and now my little granddaughter, she's gonna enjoy some sweet oranges for a few days. So I'm standing here at the top of the hill, taking a little drink of my water, and I hear this buzzing. And it's because this tree is completely filled with bees. Look at, is this beautiful? I mean, I'm sure it's a pain to clean up, but what a great tree. I'm taking a walk up a side street that I've never ever been up before at all. It's a dead end, so I'll have to come back this way. But look at that great little grape trellis they have. I mean, we're sitting up on top of a hill here. Quite a decent sized hill. Let's see where the road takes us. You know, everyone here in Southern California, we always worry about wildfire risk. Whoever owns this plot of land I'm standing on right now they did a good job hiring a crew to cut down all the grass. Super steep too. You know, these guys that do this, they're like mountain goats. But over here, unfortunately, they haven't cut that back. So these houses that are up here at the top of the hill, they're vulnerable. God forbid a fire sweeps up this hill. Wind-driven fire, there wouldn't be much that they could do other than just get the hell out of the way. Here's this grape trellis again. Kind of like the idea that they're bagging the grapes. You know, I don't have a ton of grapes this year because I pruned way back, but I do have some, and the birds do like them. I wonder if I should consider bagging mine. It's so quiet this morning that I actually heard a train whistle way off in the distance. And I know the closest train tracks are clear on the other side of the valley. Wow. I mean, if the conditions are right, we sometimes hear the train horns. But I'll bet you, as the crow flies, those train tracks are probably, you know, 4 or 5 miles away. Yeah, I love it when sound carries like that. So I was just walking along in the quiet, just thinking to myself, what do I have to do today? What's on my schedule at work? And it just dawned on me that I have a client whose phone numbers are going to be ported into a new phone system at 8 a.m. this morning. That's in a little less than 40 minutes. And I'm about 40 minutes from home. Ruh-roh. I think if I stretch my legs out, though, I can do it. And I was going to take a much longer walk, but I think I'm going to have to cut it short a little bit today. Duty calls. So going back to my stream of thought about my kids, you know, it was so awesome to have my little 2.5-year-old granddaughter come into my backyard and find strawberries that she could pick and eat, and blackberries, and blueberries, and pineapple guava flower petals. And she goes through and she looks at all the plants and the trees, and she's so excited about them. And I thought, and I told my lovely bride, I said, you know, I cannot wait to have my grandkids grow up and as adults talk to their friends and say, yeah, I remember when I was a little kid growing up, I would go into my grandpa's backyard and he had all of these tropical fruits, and we would just go into the backyard and pick them right off the tree. Mangoes and longans and guavas and all these kind of things. Oh, I can't wait for them to say that. Oh, here's one of these trees and it's filled with bees. Oh no! Oh, look at this. This must be a late fruiting variety. Most of the loquats are gone, and these look like they're pretty much done as well. But I think there's enough for some breakfast. Look at the size of this one. Woohoo! Just ate one that was a little shriveled. Almost too sweet. Can't wait to eat this one. I'm not an expert on loquats, but I think that was the Big Jim variety. That second one that I ate, the really big one, that was not as sweet. And I think I like the sweeter ones better. Tart fruits are good, don't get me wrong, but as far as loquats are concerned, I think I like the sweeter ones better. You know, most of the Big Jims that I've had, the bigger ones, I'm going to assume they're Big Jims. I don't know. Most of the big ones that I've had have been a bit on the tart side, so I don't know. We have another tree right up here around the corner. Let's see if it has any left. And this tree, I doubt that it does because it's one of the first ones that fruits in the spring, but you never know. Oh yeah, completely done fruiting, 100%. No more fruit left. I mean, there's a couple teeny tiny shriveled up ones, but that's it for that one. I hate having to cut my walk short because of work. You know, technically, I could retire right now, but you know, I do IT work, which is all a brain activity, And I thought to myself, you know, I really don't need to retire. My lovely bride still works, and she will for quite a while. She's younger than I am. So why shouldn't I continue to work? And, you know, I do all right, so why not continue to bring in that money? And the thing is, I think, and I hope that doing this pretty high level brain activity will potentially and hopefully keep my brain as young as possible. So far, I'm still keeping up with the younger guys. I don't know how long that'll last, but I'm trying to walk every day, and thanks to the encouragement from the handful of people who actually follow these videos, I'll probably continue to walk and do some of these videos. But, you know, it's days like this, though, when I have to get back and do some work. I'd kind of like to just keep walking, but that's okay. It's not that often when I actually have a specific deadline for one of my clients. Today is one of those days. No big deal. Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Maybach, and I think that's a Mercedes convertible. I don't know what that guy does, but he's always got some little bit older exotic cars parked out in front. The thing is they're just parked outside in the weather. They get dusty and dirty with bird shit on them and everything. I don't know what he's doing with them, but they have definitely some exotic cars. Those Maybachs, those things are really expensive. Forgot to do your t-shirt thing today. Today, we are repping beer. Not really, but it was a cool t-shirt. And I like Modelo. You know, it's a good Mexican lager, and their dark lager, the Negro Modelo, is one of my favorites, so can't go wrong. I don't mind repping a beer shirt, especially when it's cool like this. Look at that. This neighbor is going to be doing some serious paving on their front yard. Look at all of these paving stones. I mean, it doesn't look like their yard is big enough to support this. That's crazy. Oops. I was too busy talking and I missed my turn. Oh well, I'll have to walk a different direction now. I'll just have to stretch out my legs a little bit and make sure that I get there in time. Oopsie daisy. This is what English ivy can do to your fence. Look at how this neighbor killed off the English ivy, and you know, because it grew into the fence, they had to leave all of the roots. Isn't that amazing? It just grows right into the fence. It becomes one with the fence. Okay, Dave, quit screwing around. Get your ass back home. You got work to do. Dave, focus. I just got sidetracked by a mulberry tree. And I didn't realize that all the mulberries were ripe. They were small little mulberries too. They were only about a ½ an inch long, but boy, were they good. It'd be interesting to see if I get an allergic reaction to these. Well, I'm coming up the last hill towards my house, and I gotta book it. I've got 10 minutes to make it into my house, because I'm sure this client's gonna need my help. So everyone have a great day. Thanks for coming along with me. I really appreciate it. Everyone be good humans, okay? See you, bye.